Stop calling me by my first name. It's just rude. And what do you mean I can't send you a private message? That's just some BS. Yep, we're back with some more cruise surveys. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. And we are back with some new cruise survey comments for you today. Questions were asked, people voted, we have the results. But let's be 100% honest. We know the majority of these people that write in these comments, they're in the minority. They are not in the majority. So it's really more about the crazy things that they write in, the crazy things they request, the crazy things they demand, just the way their mind thinks when it comes to cruising. Today will be no different. And we're going to start off with people that are just completely bothered, upset, mad that crew members address them by their first names while they are out cruising on a vacation. They don't want to be called, in my case, Mr. Chris. No, they want it to be formal. They want it to be stuffy. I should be addressed as Mr., Mrs., by last names. Remember, these people, they work for us. They're our servants. They're there to serve me while I'm on a cruise ship. It's not like I'm relaxing, having a vacation. No, you can't possibly do that. If you have a stick stuck so far up your backside, you can't enjoy yourself. And I guess when that stick just vibrates just right, this is what you write in. I am standing by the OP on this one. I think it is wrong for employees to be calling their customers by their first name. I was raised to call people Mr. and Mrs. or Sir and Madam. Why do we not have a choice here? And 535 people did say they agree. I do not want to be called by my first name and think it's wrong for the crew to do so, while 19,997 people said I disagree. I think it's great that the crew calls me by my first name, and that's the kind of friendly service I prefer. First names is absolutely fine with me. Now, I want to be clear. I was raised to use Mr. and Mrs. I was raised and from the military to say sir and ma'am. I get and I understand that, but I'm out on vacation. I'm walking around the Lido deck in my bathing suit in flip-flops, got sunscreen on my face, a drink in my hand, an ice cream cone in the other one. Does the crew really need to address me formally at that particular moment? Or does Mr. Chris work just fine? Does it change my cruise vacation by how the crew members address me? It's friendly. They're happy. The fact they even remember my name to start with, that's a whole other thing. But do we really need to be addressed in a formal name situation like that? Maybe you could make an argument for it that you were at a formal night dinner, that maybe a little more formality would be okay. But every day, all day on a cruise ship, is this something we really need? And once again, if you are looking for a more formal setting, why not go to a more formal cruise line? Again, this is written into Carnival, the fun ships. Stop trying to squish other people's fun. Okay, especially when you are in the super minority. 535 people versus almost 20,000 that voted in that survey, proving once again, just because you write in a comment definitely does not make you right. Now, our last survey, little less to do about cruising and a lot more to do about Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Heald, and his Facebook page. See, lots of people write comments into him day after day after day. He responds, he talks back, he answers questions, but even he has said he's got so much coming in on a daily, regular basis, he's not going to participate, or have any type of private messaging. If you have something you want to say to him, for him to look at, him to talk about, you got to put it out publicly. And I can see where there could be some very specific situations that maybe you don't want it to be public. You don't want your information to be public knowledge, but that's just a tiny little percentage. And I truly believe that the vast majority that would only want, private messaging versus public messaging Well, that's because they know they're going to write in some BS. They're going to be rude. They're going to make some statements. They're going to have some kind of entitlement, demands that they just don't want everybody else to see and essentially make fun of, like this show. They don't want to be called out in public for their crap. Okay. That's really why a whole lot of them want private messaging, just like this person. Questions here should be private. You need to only use and respond. PM hang out in public. It's playing wrong that you force us to write publicly. What kind of service do you think this is? Let me answer my own question, the worst. And no surprise at all, only 309 people said it should be personal message questions only, so nobody else can see it, while 14,862 people voted and said, I disagree. Please keep it as it is because many of us learn things from what other people are saying. See, the vast majority of cruisers that post questions on there have legitimate questions, legitimate concerns. Other people read through it, they learn from it. Oh, I don't need to ask that question, it's already been asked. Oh, I'm looking for the answer to this. There it is. Or, hey, you know what? I didn't even know about this. I've learned something new today. But then there's people that, like I said, they write in demands, entitlement, say crazy stuff like this particular comment right here. They don't want that public. No, they don't want other people to see that because this is where it ends up. It ends up being shared, passed around, and talked about. And now they look silly. They look foolish. They get called out for their BS, and they don't like that. But he has already said there will be no private messaging. If you have something to say, it will be here. It will be in a public forum. So, yeah, if you're going to write in something crazy, say something crazy, demand, entitlement, whatever the case may be, you're probably going to see it on Facebook. Someone's going to talk about it. And there's a good chance if it's really good and juicy, you'll see it on one of my videos as well. So think about that, keyboard warriors, before you get behind the keyboard and do a little bit of trolling. And that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.